So 2 days ago, I put the Capocollos. This is the Capocollo cut. It's a little big, but this is the Capocollo cut. 2 days ago, I covered it in salt, swimming in salt, in these bins. So they've been in here for 2 days. This is what it looks like after 2 days. I'll just grab that. So you can see they're kind of swimming in salt, covered completely. The salt has melted now, but they would be basically covered in salt. So all I'm doing now is I'm wiping them down. Just get it a little bit in that juice to get some of the salt off. Just wipe them down with a paper towel, get the majority of the salt off, and prepare them for capicolos. You can see what's going on there. And you can see the brine and the salt brine. It's just salt, table salt. I use a little bit of coarse as well. The coarse tends to melt slower. And that's it. This is beef bungs. They've been washed in warm water and put them in a bowl with wine. Usually you get about 3 capicolos if you're lucky, at least 2 though, out of each string of a beef bung. Here, they were wiped off from the salt as you saw earlier. From here, you just kind of lukewarm water, just kind of give a quick wash. Don't wash all the salt off. You can see just a quick rinse, nothing more than that. Here, we like to just get some wine on there. Wine kind of disinfects, but it's also the moisture in order for the spices to stick. Okay, so we just dunk them in the wine as I showed you earlier. Now here, we're not going to make these picantes, so what this is just black pepper. You want to use a medium grind on the pepper, not super fine, of course. Anyway, you have to cover the ends. Anywhere where there's a crevice, you want to make sure it's full of pepper. And then you use a table to kind of mash it in. So then we got that in there. And we just kind of do this all around. Just kind of cover it with black pepper, completely covered. This is a very important step because this keeps flies off of the capicollo. Flies will cause rot if they poop on the capicollo. So that's that. Then I put a little bit of paprika. At this point you can put cayenne pepper, pepper flakes if you want. I just put a little paprika, really just for color more than anything. This is tasteless really. The paprika is, that is. Okay, so these are going to be mild capicolos. Press it in best you can, roll it, mash it in there. And the reason for that is we're going to skin these, and you want to try to keep that as much as possible on the skin or on the surface. Okay, that's it. So we're smearing a little bit of, in this case, I'm using sunflower oil, and then we're going to put the skin. This is a 5-inch sewer pipe. Hopefully it's new. And mantene de zut. Don't worry, I got it. Then you skin this on. From here, this is our second attempt, by the way, and this is why this one's a little bit spicy, because it gets a little tricky to put this on. And then you just kind of hold that up there. You might need something for grip. And you just work this onto the pipe. Yes, yes. Mamosi alla TV, eh? Huh? You're on TV? Alright, so these are a little tight for this 5-inch pipe. And Mantena de Zuta, please. These are a little tight for this 5-inch pipe, but you can see once you kind of get into an area where they open up, it's much easier to go. So you want to get this kind of strung in there. If you need to get a little grip, I just use some paper towels and mantena de zuta, and I just kind of pull them down like that. There we go. So the skin is on. Now you take the skin, fold it, take the meat, you put it in. You try to use gravity as your friend. You want to grab the pipe, not the skin, and then just let it flow through like that. And there you have it. Okay, so from here, we're going to tie it. Mapo venirica. Pause. So we're going to give it a little twist to make it nice and to make it nice and tight on the top, we're going to take a string, put it around. We're going to do a double knot here. So that's one, and then we're going to do another knot. Just leave yourself a little bit of space there. And this is where we're going to cut it so that we can do the next one. Okay, then we're going to cut this. Now you'll see what we're going to do here. We're going to take and make like ears. So she's going to just kind of, this will be so that it doesn't slip off. Okay, so that's good. Then we're going to take this one thing, and we're going to do the same thing here. So I'm going to take this to the other side, okay, and we're going to put a knot here. 1 and 2. And we push this down, and we're ready for the next one. So if you're lucky, you get 3 out of each. Okay, these are the skinned capicolos ready to roll. Now we're going to net them, but before we do that, they all need to be poked. So you take a poker, and you have to poke the ends. Make sure you let them breathe. Poke the ends really well. Now this is pretty thick skin, so you gotta make sure you go through to make a hole. And then you just go up and down. The next part, we're gonna put the netting on. So you put the netting on the tube, you tie the end, make sure you go through the loop. So, this is now gonna take the weight of the capocollo hanging in the cellar type thing. So there it is, you put that on the netting. You take your finished capocollo, you just cut the end strings off so that it makes it a little bit easier, so we're not interfering. And then you take that and you drop it in the pipe. Hold the pipe, but you see how I'm just kind of let gravity work. And we tie it. Now you see on the end here, I didn't let it fall to the end. That's a problem. We're gonna retie this. It's gotta be nice and tight, okay? We tied the ends, of course, it's in the netting that's tied on the bottom. On the top, you want a loop. You want it to hang from the netting. So you want to make sure that's a really good knot so it doesn't break. I'm going to take this now and just hang it in the cellar. Nod your head, Sven. Okay, we're going to make sure again, we'll just do one more. The netting has got to be tight to the bottom so that it sits to the bottom. Take this, drop it in here. I got a real tight one just for the purposes of the video, just to show you. I will do it this way. Of course, the strings have to be cut. So if this can touch the bottom of the table, hold the netting to make sure it's on the bottom. See, now it's nice and tight. And that's it. Okay, here we have it. So these are your capocollos. They're complete. They are hanging. You want them to hang high on the fruit cellar, not low. Low is too moist. These are from last week. You can see they're already drying. So these will be ready in about 3 to 4 months. And that's it. Capocollo's made.